Hi, welcome back, everyone. I'm here to do the reading for the second half of The Night the Stuffed Animals Came Alive. And if you listen really closely, you'll hear rain sprinkling down a little bit harder now, I think, on Echo Lake and in the Cove area, which is where I love to host Varna stories for the little kids. Now it's my pleasure to be able to share one of the stories, and I plan to write many more, of the episodes, the wonderful adventures of Varna's life with her little tiny fairy daughter, Violet. So here we go. We left off the last time where the animals had a s'more in Varna's tree home, and they really loved it. Got a lot of marshmallow on their whiskers and stuff, but Violet flew around and helped them clean up, just like how your counselors do, or you do. Yeah, as a matter of fact, no, what you do, you like to lick your fingers. At least a lot of the younger kids. Well, I do too. So now, here we go. Uh, they Jeb points his cane to the door, the exit door of Varna's home, and says, "Okay, follow me, everybody. We're going to go up to the baseball field." So they, all of them, line up and they go to the field. The ball field, is all ablaze with Varna's sparkler lights. The field and equipment are smaller in scale to suit the animal's size. Varna explains how the game is played and arranges the team roster. 10 in all, with 5 in each team. After a brief discussion, they choose the names the Chocolates and the Marshmallows. Varna pinches gold crater dust onto each animal. Poof! Team t-shirts and caps appear. Billy Bulldog barks in excitement, then remembers to use his human voice. Wow, we get our own uniforms. So cool. Varna explains the rules of the game. Violet will be the umpire, and I will manage each team since Jeb is playing too. Chocolates, your team is up first, and Billy Bulldog bats first. Marshmallows, you're out in the field. Jeb, you pitch. Grab your mitts and spread out. So, yeah. Billy Bulldog helps himself to a bat and practices his warm-up swings. The Marshmallows sprint onto the field to their team positions. Violet shouts, "Batter up." On the third pitch, Billy hits a high ball over Freddie, who is playing shortstop. Freddie spins around and races after the ball. His mitt is in his mouth so he can run faster. That makes sense. Mitt and mouse. We can use all 4 legs. Nice, I like that. Retrieving the ball, Freddie turns and throws to home plate. Too late, though. Varna yells, "Safe!" as Billy slides into home plate and scores a run. The game continues until the end of the 4th inning, when Varna announces, "Game over, everyone. Line up on the field for high fives." The final score is 5-3. The Chocolates win. Everyone played really well. When Varna presents the game ball to Billy, both teams clap and chant, "Billy, Billy, Billy." Billy accepts the ball and tips his cap to Varna and the players. "Gosh, I just don't know what to say except this has been the best night of my entire life." Jeb says, "Nicely done, everyone. Now let's walk to the stables and leave the uniforms here." Now they're over at the Equestrian Center, the Vega Equestrian Center. When Violet and all the critters arrive, the horses nicker and swish their tails. Varna, who had flown ahead, welcomes everyone to the ring. "The horses are calm now, and I've told them to expect you. Let's have Ricky go first this time. Jeb is going to ride too. Come closer for instructions on how to mount your horse." However, one of the animals did not step forward. Penny's head, Penny the pony, is hung low, and she is sad. "I can't do it, Varna. Ponies don't ride horses." Varna walks to her and whispers, "I understand, Penny. You should be with the other horses. Why don't you ride over to Rolando, who is also a pony? You two can have your own riding area." Penny bucks her hind legs and happily trots to Rolando, who swishes his tail in greeting. Varna turns to walk back to the group and resumes instruction. First, you will start in a walk. As you improve, you can do a walk trot. Hold your reins firmly but loosely so you can guide your horse in the turn. Violet flies alongside each rider and yells, "Good job, Penny! Thank you, Rolanda. I can see you two have already become friends." Puffs of dust rise as the riders circle the ring. The hour passes quickly. Varna nods to Jeb, signaling the class is over. Here's some of the drawings, illustrations. "Thanks, Varna. That was fun." Jeb retrieves his cane and blows his whistle. All the horses come to a quick halt. Molly Monkey flies off the head of the pony. I mean the head of the horse, somersaulting onto the sandy ring. Varna snatches her horse's reins and says, "Whoa, boy," and looks down at Molly, who's still sitting in the ring where she fell. "Are you okay, Molly?" "Sure thing," Molly said, standing up with a big smile. "Can I do it again?" Jeb replies, "Nicely done, Molly." But the class has come to an end. We're on to the next activity. Jeb blows his whistle and says, "Pat your horses, everybody, and say a few words of thanks." The horses usually asleep at this hour, and they must be tuckered out. Varna will lead them back to their stalls. Everyone else line up. Penny follows alongside Rolando back to the barn, but Jeb spots her. "Varna, it seems we're missing a pony here." Varna sees where Jeb is pointing and spots Penny walking on the far side of Rolando. She is trying hard not to be seen. She made really good friends with Rolando, didn't she? I mean, to leave the one pony she's ever met in her life, someone like herself. Well, let me just show you that scene. This is the scene right here. Varna walks around Rolando and softly speaks to Penny. "Maybe one day you can be a real pony, but right now we need you with us." Penny raises her head and looks at Varna with sad eyes. A tiny tear trickles, right down her face. Penny sighs and replies, "I sure hope so, Varna." Rolando lowers his neck and nuzzles Penny's cheek. He whinnies a goodbye and lifts his head up and down. Penny feels much and neighs back. She swishes her tail and trots back to the group. The other horses start neighing their farewells to the departing stuffed animals. It seems the night was fun for them, too. Jeb announces it's time to depart. "Hurry it up, everyone. We still have arts and crafts on our schedule. Sunshine will be here in 2 hours." Varna said the awake spell only works at night. So true. So now they're going to go over to Cadillac. Cadillac, the arts and crafts building, was lit up when they arrived. Cappy is the first to jump onto a bench to see what was in store for them. Crayons, paintbrushes, and tiny pots of paint were laid out on a long table. Jeb says, "Varna said we can draw or paint anything we want. We also can sign our name at the bottom of our artwork when we're through." Some of the animals remain on the floor to draw pictures. Others climb up onto the table to join Cappy. Gobs of paint splatters everywhere as the animals try to hold a paintbrush with their tiny paws. Varna and Violet encourage everyone to finish their drawing. They also help the animals write a note and sign their name at the bottom of their artwork to be taped onto the art room walls. That's smart. Jeb blows his whistle. "Listen, everyone. Varna wants to speak." Varna smiles and says, "You are all artists now. Your works are truly original. Violet and I loved every minute of tonight with you. The magic will end soon, but the memory will linger in our hearts forever." Violet flies to Jeb and hovers near his ear, whispering, "Thank you, Jeb, for leading everyone tonight. I'm so proud of you. You did great." Jeb's bunny tail wiggles, and he whispers back to Violet, You're welcome, Violet. I'm sad, though, that the night is coming to an end. So they leave the art building with all their creations, and now they're ready to walk back into the night back to where they live in Algonquin to get back to their owner mommies. All the animals turn for one last look at their paintings and notes to their human mommies before following Varna out the door. Violet flies behind Zena Zebra as the animals trek up the hill, smelling the earth and grass for the last time. A slight brightening of the sky appears across the lake. Not yet sunrise. Soon they arrive at their cabin. Jeb holds the door, ensuring everyone is present. Jeb, Violet and I want you to keep your hat, whistle, and cane as souvenirs for tonight. Jeb's eyes turn moist and his whiskers twitch. His rabbit ears droop lower. Thank you, Varna. Do you think when I'm changed back to a stuffed animal, I will remember this night? Varna bends down to pick up Jeb and kisses his cheek. Jeb, I'm not sure if you will or not, but I sure hope so. She gently places him alongside his owner, who is still asleep. Good night, Jeb. I love you, and I will watch over you while you're here this summer. Varna helps all the animals to their beds, and Violet flies to each animal to make sure they are asleep. Her wings brush against their ears, and she whispers, "Good night. We love you." Here they are walking into their Algonquin. And it's dark out, so everything's dark here. Varna notices the first gleam of sunlight. The animals lay still now, close to their human mommies. Varna feels a twinge of sadness knowing she must leave. Violet stands on her shoulder, her wings lowered by her side. Varna ponders Jeb's question and thinks, I wonder if the animals will remember this night. The spell was unclear about that. She turns to Violet and whispers, It's time to leave. The campers will be up soon. The screen door creaks softly as they return to their home in Vagabondia. Here's the scene of them walking home. Oops. Not very good at showing pages, am I? There they are. I'll hold that for a little bit. Okay. Story continues. Kathy is the first to wake up. She rolls over to see if anyone else is awake and feels a slight movement beside her. She looks down at her bunny named Jeb and sees one of his ears wiggle. Then she sees Jeb wink at her. Fully awake now and feeling a bit scared, her mind is full of questions. Is this real? Am I imagining this? And what's that hat on his head? And a whistle around his neck? And he's holding a cane. She jumps off her bed and races into the counselor's room yelling, My stuffed animal is alive! Wake up! He has a hat and a cane. He never had that before. Come see. The counselors are startled and a little annoyed at being woken so really early, but realize it's Kathy, who respects the no noise rule until the rising bell. They get up to see what upset her so much. Counselor Liz speaks first. Kathy, you must have had a dream. Some dreams seem quite real, but let's have a look. The other campers are fully awake now. Kathy runs to her bed and holds up Jeb, who shows no signs of movement. There is a whistle attached around his neck. His black top hat slips off and a miniature cane falls to the floor. When I fell asleep last night, Jeb did not have these things. Also, he wiggled an ear this morning and winked at me. The counselors draw closer to take a look. The campers do too. Counselor Amy notices something. There's paint on his paws. That's interesting. I never would get paint on Jeb's paws. Something is definitely wrong here. The other campers look at their favorite stuffed animal. Hey, Zena, my zebra, has paint on her feet. Another camper says, my stuffed animal, Freddie, has wet paint on his paws, too. Gina holds up a tiny baseball that she found beside her stuffed animal, Billy. Where did this tiny baseball come from? And look, it's signed by Varna in purple ink, her favorite color. Wow, check this out, kids, exclaims Counselor Amy, who points at the floor. Everyone looks down and sees green, blue, red, and yellow paint tracks. Tiny paw prints dot the floor and stop at the screen door. The counselors exchange glances. They talk in low whispers and turn to speak to the other campers. If you promise to be quiet, like really quiet, we can go outside to follow the tracks. The kids all start talking at once, exclaiming, I bet it was Varna! Shh. Let's get started, but first put on a sweatshirt and sneakers. Everyone sees patches of paint on the on the grass. They follow the trail to the Arts and Crafts building, and Counselor Liz enters first. Oh my goodness, kids! Everyone looks up to where Liz is pointing. There are drawings and paintings taped to the wall. Counselor Amy exclaims, Kids, it looks like the animals painted pictures of themselves. Kathy, here, one of Jeb. And he has a hat and a whistle and a cane. He's smiling at a girl that looks just like you. Kathy smiles and says, That's exactly what Jeb had on this morning. Now we know it's true. The stuffed animals did come alive. Oh, and look here. There's a note taped beside it. Kathy carefully removes the piece of paper from the wall and sits down to read. Dear Mommy Kathy, last night we had the most amazing time of playing the activities you and your friends do at camp. Thanks to Varna, I was able to walk, talk, eat, play, and ride a horse and water ski. The best part was making new friends. So true. I know now why you love camp so much. It is so much fun to be alive and to smell and see this beautiful place. Thank you for choosing me to be your stuffed animal. Thank you so much for taking such good care of me. Love, Jeb. P.S. Varna said this was a surprise for Algonquin and to try your best not to tell others. Now Sandy picks up her note. Dear Mommy Sandy, thank you for being my owner and thank you for taking such good care of me. I love you. Playing sports, skiing, riding with Rolando, and eating s'mores was awesome. I see why you love this place. Love, Penny. The other campers read similar messages from their stuffed animals and look at their animals' artwork. All the girls talk at once. It must have been Varna, her magic, that made all of this happen. Liz raises her hand over her head to signal quiet. It appears so, girls. And let's keep this night private to honor Varna's wishes, not to tell the others. The girls agree. We're so happy she chose our cabin, though, so we must keep our promise. The counselors thank the girls and ask them to quietly head back to their cabin. The campers collect their animals' artwork and note and walk silently but quickly up the grassy hill to get ready for another fun day at camp. But later, all is quiet in Algonquin. It's morning now, the campers are all at breakfast. In the dining room, the stuffed animals lay still, except for one. Jeb opens one eye to peek around. What's happened? Why are my animal friends asleep and I'm awake? I wonder if Varna's sleeping dust didn't work on me. I guess I'll have to pretend to be asleep when humans are around. Varna said to not let anyone know we came alive. I wonder what's going to happen in the next book when he's around camp alive. I thank you for watching the second half reading of The Night the Stuffed Animals Came Alive. And I want to thank all of you who sent notes through my Varna Chronicles website and ordered the book. And I had fun today inscribing to many of my campers, even from the 70s and 80s. I had alumni, writing for a book and requesting a book, and it was just so much. I spent the better part of my day getting all of those out with some help here from some of us here. And so again, Thank you. The Varna legend keeps going on, and it's all of you who help Varna and Violet stay alive and bring magic and wonder into the world of Camp Vigo. Talk soon.